Hi, this is Cardinal Dr. Elizabeth Samantha Rothschild Judge, and I just wanted to share something with everyone that I would normally put on my social media, but I am not on social media anymore, so I'm going to put it on my YouTube. Ta-da! All right. So I've talked a lot about the stalking and the harassing. Well, this is what's so amazing to me about it. Let's take a look here. That's a map of the United States of America. Okay? The United States of America map. This is what I want to share. Now, as a child, I was here and here, back and forth from Shreveport, Louisiana to Houston. Y'all can see that? Okay. So this is what's happened, the stalking. When it all started in 2014, I was here in Shreveport. Okay. Then I went way over here to Austin, Texas. You see that distance? Okay. So the people that were stalking me here in Shreveport followed me all the way to here, to Austin, Texas. All right. Then I went from Austin, Texas, all the way over here to El Paso. See how far that was? So then people followed me from here in Austin, Texas, all the way over to here in El Paso. And then people came all the way from Shreveport all the way to El Paso. And people were coming from Austin, Texas, all the way to El Paso. Now that's crazy because that's a far distance, right? So when I left El Paso, I went from El Paso all the way, let's see if y'all can see that, yeah, all the way up here to Denver. So then people from Shreveport started going all the way to Denver. People from Austin, Texas were going all the way to Denver. And people from El Paso all the way to Denver. So with it being such a far distance, they were basically migrating. Okay, so I said something about migrants. I'm not talking about the ones that are coming from out of the country. I was talking about people inside of the country migrating from one city to the next solely to stalk me. Okay. Then I went from Colorado. Let me see if I can see that. Okay. From here, and I traveled all the way from there, all the way over here to Washington, D.C. Okay? That's a far distance. You know what happened? People that had gone to Denver stalked me all the way to Washington, D.C. People that were in El Paso have come all the way to Washington, D.C. Okay? Then, as well, people that are in Austin and in Shreveport came all the way here to Washington, D.C. So the amazing thing to me is the desperation. The desperation to know me, to be around me for bad. I don't bother anybody first. So the only way anyone can start with me is if they come to where I am. So every problem that I've had in any location I've gone to were people following me and starting up. And I said, that's just an act of desperation. Another amazing thing, you see this great state of Texas, this big state? The whole state is handicapped. You know why? Because there's a handicapped governor there. That means all of the people are acting just like the handicapped person with his pain pills and all. Now looking at the entire nation, we're under social dysfunction from a vice president with COVID-19. So that means all of this, where the vice president has a say, is under the influence of social dysfunction. Here in El Paso, that whole area is a social disaster area due to the politicians in power and authority. So here I am over here in the nation's capital. This is Washington, D.C. You see that? And people have come from here all the way here. They've come from Austin, Texas, all the way here. They've come from El Paso, Texas, all the way here. They've come from Colorado, all the way here. For what? To start problems and to blame it on other people. And the amazing thing to me is that's desperation. I mean, I moved cross country, and as a matter of fact, I wanted to go from Shreveport straight to Washington, D.C., but because of the stalking and the stalking putting me into distress and duress, I had to travel a little. So it has been known that I was going to have to come to Washington, D.C. Now that I'm here and the way that I got here, I want to stay. The only other place I could think of that I would want to live would be in New York. Okay, but I don't plan on moving. I plan on being here. I'm settling in as a Washingtonian. Okay. So my thing is, isn't that a little desperate now that we're looking at it on the big map for persons to go from here to here to here, all the way up to here, and then all the way across to here. Oh, here. Yeah. Just to start up a problem for no reason whatsoever. And I'm saying, along with a lot of other normal people, what is their problem? Well, that's rhetoric, because I really don't care what their problem is. I just want to point out how dysfunctional that is. This whole state is handicapped. The whole state of Texas. It's as handicapped as its leadership. This whole nation, our whole nation, is under social dysfunction of COVID-19 from a person in authority. So who gets these persons and does anything about that? So I'm here in Washington, D.C. at a homeless shelter. And there are people at the homeless shelter with data packs on. And guess who's at the top of their data packs? The socially dysfunctional vice president, the representatives from here, and then the governor from here. Thank goodness I'm around normal people who know how to do their jobs. I don't have to tell them anything. They're intelligent. They can deduce, but it's phantom because no one can see it, and it's not like they're going to admit it. So I've come here and I'm like, really it doesn't matter to me what they want. I run my business. I run my church. Nobody has authority over my things but me. And anybody coming in has to have paperwork. And the only person that has any paperwork of authority in my organizations besides me is my mother, Monica Jones. And that's it. I've not added anyone else, and I will not add anyone who's problematic. And following me and causing problems is not going to make me add anyone. So, since I would usually put this up on social media, and I'm not on social media anymore, well, actively at this time, even though the accounts are still there, I said I'm going to put it on my YouTube and let all of the world of YouTube be aware, raising awareness of what's going on. And if people would do that to me, they'll do that to anybody. That's something to think about. You all have a great evening.